Nothing, no appliance costs more than those. No appliances cost more to run than these. And that's why we're here. So tonight, yellow-blue, what I'm going to introduce is a three-pronged approach of how we're going to fix this. And I'm going to go through 3 items that we can do that'll help alleviate this. Next slide. The American Society of Heating and Refrigerating Air Conditioning Units tells us, and this is for our air conditioning units, that when we get that thing, we take it out of the box, it's going to lose 7% efficiency the first year out of the box. Taking that sucker out of the box and putting it in is going to lose 7% the first year. The second year, 5%. And 2% each additional year, up to 30, 40% loss of efficiency. Now, we all have our heating and air conditioning units, and I don't know how old they are, but you can do the math and see where you are. It's not running the way it was. Why does this happen? One of the reasons is oil fouling. We already know about oil fouling with spark plugs. You know, a foul spark plug doesn't spark, a clean one sparks. But what oil fouling is when they put that oil in your refrigerant or in your heating and air conditioning unit, it's supposed to be as a lubricant. Well, oil and metal attract like a magnet together. So what happens is it goes into the coils. You know, it's full of copper coils. It's full of all this machinery parts. So within that first year, all that's taken effect, and it's generating heat that blows through your air conditioning unit. So it's making it work harder, making it work longer. And there's an element of heat when that cool air is coming out that you have to keep combating. But it's no secret. Oil fouling will damage your equipment, it'll make it last shorter. But you know, the guys know this, the manufacturers know this. I don't care if it's Rheem, I don't care if it's Lennox. These guys make 65% of their money fixing problems. They might make a little bit of money installing your heating and air conditioning unit, or these guys make their money is fixing problems. You know, Bonnie Field, they have enough money to buy a stadium, and that's a local company. I mean, and it only takes one trip to have the heating and air conditioning guy show up your house, if you know what I mean. Those bills are never cheap. So what yellowblue has done, we've come up with a solution called Blue Max. I'm going to jump over here. I want to make sure I don't get it. Now what Blue Max will do is it reduce some of that oil fouling. It'll help reduce the oil fouling, it'll help deliver a colder vent of air, cut the cooling cost. You know, this is all the good stuff, but here's what it does for you immediately. Other than saving the life or saving the wear and tear on your unit, it takes that oil that has been foul and it reduces it to its natural lubricant state. It's a one-time treatment, and it actually makes your air conditioner work cooler. Now, how it works is that we'll come out to your house, and I have this, we'll take a laser, and I'll shoot it. See that vent up there? See, it'll shoot it up there, and we take a reading. Is it nearly keeping this place way cold? I'm freezing it. Okay, well, guess what? It's at 60 degrees. I don't keep my hold up. So anyway, I just needed to point that out. 60 degrees. So what we'll do is we'll take a shot and we'll measure the air that's coming out. We'll go out and we'll apply it to your air conditioner. It takes about 30 minutes to take effect. We have to be EPA certified to do it. We'll come back in, you turn on your air conditioner, we'll hit it back up there, and you'll see that it's running 6 to 8 degrees cooler that quickly. So what it's going to do is taking that foul oil, it's cleaning it up, it's making your air conditioner run smoother. It's a one-time treatment, and you're going to actually get colder air blowing out of it. Real quick, you know, with the oil and the metal mix in there, we all know, oops, reduce maintenance costs and more stuff. So it is. It's a stable, non-corrosive liquid. We add the refrigerant in the cooling system. It works with all common refrigerants, and it takes the heat out of your supply. But let's talk about heat, because I don't want to go into a lot of this, because we all know that there's several ways heat's transferred: conduction, convection, radiation. We all know radiation, especially coming up. It's really hot here. You guys, you're not from here. You've been here. It's really hot this summer. That sun bakes on there. it does all three of those to your houses. Vents, ducts, all from that radiation. Where does that heat go? Well, heat seeks out the cold. And the way I can best describe it, we've all cooked, we've all had our ovens on at 375, it's been on for, an hour. You open up that oven, and what happens? I have to take off my glasses and I just envision all this fog in the glasses. And your eyebrows singe up. But you see, in science, cold doesn't exist. It's just the absence of heat. So it's basically the heat coming out and seeking out the cold. Same works in our house. Little science lesson. Now, there's a lot we can do. Why does it cost so much? We all know that heat is gained and lost every day in our house. We go to the home shows. We've all been to the home shows. They sell us the wall insulation, the double pane windows, the triple pane windows. They're all the same windows except different stickers on it. And that all works great. It surrounds your home, but really, where is all that heat and cool going? Right up through the roof. In fact, it enters your heat in the attic in the warmer months. It escapes in the cooler months. Even if you have a lot of insulation. Now, that's what I'm going to focus on right now, is some of the insulation. This isn't my number, but the U.S. Department of Energy states that only 10% of radiant heat is stopped by traditional insulation. That means that 90% of that heat is just getting saturated and going up through the roof. And here's how I can best explain it. And I've got some samples here. I don't know if it's blown in or you're blowing in insulation, or if you have the traditional Pink Panther that everybody knows, right? But it's like a sponge. If I was to take a big sponge and I was to put it right here on the table, right? And I took a glass of water and I threw it on there, what would happen? The sponge would soak it up, right? But there become a point where I throw so much water in there that if I put that sponge up and put one drop of water in, a drop of water is going to come out the bottom because it's saturated. It's the same thing with your insulation. It doesn't matter what kind it is, it only slows down the heat transfer. And it doesn't stop it. Now we've heard of R values, right? On insulation, R19, R30, you go to Home Depot and it all gives you that R value. Well, what R stands for is resistance. They're showing you how much is it going to resist all of that. Well, I'm here tonight to show you how to stop. A couple things that deplete R value. Compression. And you might have a big fluffy pile that you've blown in a couple years ago, but slowly it's going to go down and deplete. And age is going to do that. The other thing is that people don't think about is condensation. Think about it in the winter when you're taking a shower or you're doing laundry. That hot air is going up, it's mixing with the cold air, and what happens? Condenses. And that water goes on your insulation and it depletes that R value. So, leads to higher cooling bills in the summer, higher heating bills in the winter, which brings me to my second point that I'm going to talk about tonight. I have three. And that is reflective, multi-layer reflective insulation. Now I mentioned earlier about Walter Cunningham, NASA astronaut. But this is the same technology that NASA used to develop to protect their astronauts and equipment from outer space. Now you've probably seen the stories and know that it gets very, very, very cold in space. It also gets very, very hot in space just by traveling which side of the sun you're on, right? In fact, they're having swings up to 500-degree swings while they're out there spinning around the Earth. So they were forced to come up with something that protected the astronauts, protected their equipment, and this is what they come up with. Walter Cunningham, who's an Apollo astronaut, even says, I can assure you that this technology will save you money just as it did on our spacecraft and spacesuits. Now, I have a video a little later before I go. I won't take too much time. And it's from the History Channel Modern Marvels. We all know the show. It has a little bit thing to show you how this multi-layer insulation works. Works through the power of aluminum. And the power of aluminum is nothing new. The forestry's been using it, NASA's been using it, and we know it because we know about firefighters that get trapped in these fires. They hunker down under these things and it saves their lives. They, want to put this thing about 73 firefighters, which is good. But locally, we had a King fire here up in Placerville 2 years ago. I know it. I was very involved in it. And I was tracking the fire every day. We have some property up there because we were scared we were going to get burned out. And sure enough, as reading through it, there was firefighters that got trapped in 1,200-degree flames. 3 of them. They took that blanket, covered up, and they were saved. Saved their lives. It's standard issue in the forestry department. How it works. The outer layer is 99% aluminum. I cut a little piece off just to make it easier to roll it out. The outside is 99% aluminum. Backside is 99% aluminum. Then we have a moisture barrier in between. And its only purpose is to dissipate moisture. Do that. And you can see, you can see some perforations in there. Let me see if I can get them in there. See little holes in there? That allows for moisture to dissipate. And I'm going to show you a really cool demo on how it works here in just a bit. So what this allows us to do is just roll it out over your existing insulation and honeycomb all that living space for you, or cocoon that living space for you. So might be running a little fast, but I have a cool demo I want to show you right now. And you have those cards right there, the white cards. The reason I'm showing that is because I'm going to do a demonstration on both sides. What I've done is I've taken a plexiglass box that represents what your attic looks like. Full of the old Pink Panther, right, that we're all familiar with. And then I have some 250 watt heat lamps I'm going to turn on and get this stuff hot to show you how it works. One of these, I'm going to put the NASA product on. So what I'd like someone here to do is pick which side we're going to do it on, because I don't want any funny. So somebody pick a side, left or right. That would be, this one would be the left, that one would be the right. So somebody pick a side where I'm going to do the NASA product.
Left.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so on the left side, I'm going to move these over here and have you guys, I'm going to need a couple volunteers to check on these as I talk. Okay? All right, so on that left side, I want you to mark that top number. What is that? Oh, wait a minute. No. The last one. Because what I did is I took these heat sensors and I have them in the box. So I have to remember that this is the outside that's using the heat sensor. Okay, so outside is 70.8, and what do we have here? 60. Sorry, I made you the volume.
That's all right.
69.9. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn that on, and I'm going to talk, and you guys can record as it goes on. But then people are saying, Chris, well, you have insulation, attic this, or I'm rolling this out. The thing is that most people, I talked about the race to the bottom, most people don't even have insulation in their garage. In fact, by code, a home builder doesn't even have to put insulation in the garage. So what I like to show in this is how this would work without any insulation at all. So I'll even take this insulation out. And I'm going to turn this on. I'll let you clip this down. I don't trip on it either. But that would be fun to watch me trip. That'd be part of the issue. I'm just going to tack it down. And then I'm going to put the NASA product on top of it. Now, the cool thing about this, okay, I'll go do a home show, and I'll put a Hershey Kiss down in there, and we run it from 10 a.m. to 8 o'clock at night, and that Kiss won't. It can't melt. It's 99% aluminum. It's science. It's never going to go up above 3% up or down what the original temperature is. So we have a great demo that we're going to show how it works. Turn these guys on. And I'll talk a little bit. All right, everybody write down the whoops. Where are we at here? Before it starts going up. Okay, everybody mark on your left and right.
What?
Oh, what the temperature is before it starts going up.
And here. Left is 71.2. How about right?
What do we got on the right? Oh, it's starting to go up now.
74.4. We're looking at this
Up
one.
on it? Okay.
Everybody got that? So people come to me and they'll say, attic this, attic that. We don't have insulation. Well, Chris, we don't even have an attic. Darn it. Well, the good news is that at Yellowblue, they've actually now developed this in a liquid form. They have the same powers of this multi-layer reflective insulation. They put it in a paint. And allows us to simply roll it over and get those same qualities, that same power of aluminum to keep it from going up and down. Now, no, it doesn't go on metallic, right? You're not going to see yourself. It goes on eggshell white. You can paint your, if you have a blue ceiling, you can paint it blue again. But how it will work in the summer with those same, whether it's the paint or a multi-layer insulation, the sun radiates the heat in the attic, causing these extreme temperatures, right? And the multi-layer insulation blocks that heat from your home. And the exact opposite in the winter. Same thing works in the winter, it warms air. And what happens? That warm air rises, and if you can't escape, what happens? It goes down and keeps your house warm. In fact, we'll put this in, and within 24 hours of cocooning that house with our multi-layer insulation, there won't be one room in your house that's 1 degree above or below. They're all going to be within 1 degree of each other. It's going to save you money in the long run. We'll make sure I'm going very good. Let's go ahead and check the temp. Where are we at now?
98.
98? Oh, jump to 100 on the left side. And where we are on the right? Has it moved?
Yes, it's gone on 0.2.
0.2. Okay, so we haven't even gone a degree. I'm gonna let it keep going, and I'll. What happens in the summer and winter? And this happens at my house too. Used to happen. We have 2 stories. And in the summer, it's hot upstairs, it's cold downstairs, because the hot upstairs, cold downstairs, the air conditioner. I'm cranking the air conditioner upstairs. She's cranking the air conditioner downstairs. So what is that like? Thermostat wars, right?
Yes.
Once this is in, all the rooms are going to be the same temperature. You're not going to have to deal with that anymore. Here's how it works. This is our traditional house that we see. We'll go into, this is cotton insulation. It doesn't matter, like I say, bad in blowing or whatever. That's what a typical house that we go into looks like. Traditional insulation. And then we go in and we lay our big space blanket over there and clean it up. You see, we put it up on the walls, we wrap the pipes, and that keeps your house cool and warm. Now, the one thing that's missing out of this attic, as you know, boxes, pictures. In some cases, we'll come out, and we'll put plywood. We have the whole thing out there. We'll put plywood to put your old stuff. You could walk on this because we don't staple it down. What we do is we layer it like this for the insulation value. Plus, when we're going in, if you have to get it wired, you don't have to pull it apart and just open it up. So nothing's tacked down. We just roll it. I mean, we'll tack it up on the walls to keep it, like if you have a cathedral ceiling and you look up in your attic and you see that big space, we'll tack it on there to keep that heat in and to keep it cool out. Here's a before and after picture from a traditional Pink Panther to a big old space blanket. Whoops, got ahead of myself. Where are we at on those?
71.6.
128.4.
128.4. Anybody been to Death Valley before? Okay. I think I've done a pretty good job of demonstrating. But before it gets too hot, I think I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. What are we at right now? 131?
133 now.
Okay, 132. Write that down because I'm going to turn these off now before it gets too hot. The reason I do this is because, again, we live in the valley and we know it gets hot. What's the hottest part of the day here? Evening, right? Right when that sun goes down. So the sun goes down, we go outside, we walk the dog, we do whatever, come back in the house and it's hotter out there hotter inside than it is out there. Well, that's because that insulation has achieved its saturation point. And it's still getting hotter, and it's making us run our air conditioner at 10 o'clock at night. What's that temperature now?
134.6.
So it's going up. That's the cool part of the demo. To show you that that Pink Panther, once it gets saturated, we're spending a lot of money, even at the end of the day, to keep our house cool with that. But this is just me. Here's what the experts say. EPA is saying that reflective insulation can help improve your comfort while reducing your energy bills drastically. U.S. Department of Energy. Unlike most common insulation, reflective insulation works by reflecting radiant heat, which is usually installed in attic. This stuff works. That's what the customer. Here's what our customers say. We were granted the license for yellowblue to sell this about a year ago, and it's been crazy. We pack these rooms in. I do 8 shows a night, or 8 shows a week. And these are the testimonials we're getting from people. 90-degree home, didn't turn on our AC until 3:15, it ran in 15 minutes. Doesn't have the hot cold spot. Doesn't take long to cool the house. I'm just reading, you guys can read faster than I can talk. Talk faster. You guys can read faster. And if you notice, none of them really are talking about cost or anything. We're just talking about how nice their homes are now. And how cool it is, and how warm, and how comfortable it is. So, what this all means to you, it's going to cut your heating and cooling bills immediately. And it's documented, the multi-layer insulation units. It's all over the place. We're going to save you wear and tear on your heating and cooling equipment because we're not going to run it as much. We're going to help eliminate those hot and cold spots, create a more comfortable living area, help preserve the environment. Oh, and I want to talk to you briefly about this. I told you I would. Potentially increasing the value of home. Everything that we're presenting to you tonight has a lifetime warranty backed by yellowblue. The warranties are transferable, meaning if you sell your house, it transfers to the new owner. If you want to take it with you, you can do that. The way I can best describe it, let's say it's time to sell your house. What do you want? Bring a realtor in and say, hey, listen, we had some really cool energy saving products installed in our house. Here are our bills before we started, and here's our bills after we installed this stuff, these goods. Do you think, we could get a price, increase on this? It's very attractive to sell that. But again, a lot of people just take them with them. Nowadays people are downsizing, so I guess I don't know, you get the other half. But you can take it with you, or we can leave it there, and the warranty will transfer. Can help keep your attic cool and help keep your house cool. So, which brings me to the third thing I want to talk about tonight. blank slide. Ta-da! I have these out here, revolutionary solar. Cool thing about this is that these now come out with a 60% tax credit. 30% state, 30% federal. What this does, we install it on your roof. It's made out of 100% aircraft aluminum. It's all hand spun, not hand spun, it's all machine spun, there's no seams. And if you go to Home Depot or anything, you'll know what I mean by that race to the bottom when you check it with some of the other equipment and outfit. All made in the USA. It has a built-in solar panel that's embedded in the aluminum as well. Meaning, we just had a big hailstorm here a few weeks ago, remember that? It's not going to damage that. It's going to be embedded, and the last thing we want to do is plug it into something and draw more energy. The fan works really well. Here, cover your eyes. See how quickly it works? Is it spinning?
No.
There it is.
Is it spinning?
Yeah.
Sorry. You guys hear that? Is it making a noise? Okay. Of course not. It's not supposed to. It's a brushless motor. You can put these right over your bedroom. And what this is going to do is, for those that are scientifically inclined, it's going to pull out 600 cubic feet. It's going to move 600 cubic feet, 681 cubic feet per second out of your attic. It's going to circulate that air, and it's going to keep your attic cool. Now, the attic is a toxic environment, and we don't send our guys up there without respirators. And it doesn't take you in the summer 2 seconds to stick your head up in the attic to know it's really hot up there. So the number one killer, you know what the number one killer of your shingles on your roof is? It's heat. And if you go in your house or go to somebody's house and you see those shingles that are curved up like that, well, it's because of all that heat in that attic that's radiating and cooking those things from the inside out. So this is going to take that air and it's going to keep it cool in your home. But here's the big news. We have a big issue in the country with breathing and respiratory issues. And 30% of what we breathe, whether you like it or not, is coming from our attic. Just particles that are dropping down. And don't breathe that. Sorry. So, what we're doing with this fan, it'll take up to 1,200 cubic feet of attic space. It'll manage 1,200 cubic feet of attic space. So, if you have two, any more we might need to, but I'll get into that a little later. But this has a lifetime warranty. It'll never go bad. It's free to operate, no plastic parts, it's fireproof, and it has a lifetime warranty. And it outperforms everyone on the market too. So where I'm at now, let me see. I'm going to make sure I get you guys out of here. I have a video. I told you I was going to show you that video on NASA, and then I'll show the quick video. I'll answer questions and we'll get out of here. How's that, okay? Whoops. Hate it when that happens. One moment, please. Technical difficulties. My Bose unit should be on. Aha! Somebody turned it off on me. Come on. One moment, please. There. NASA. I have it all queued up. Okay.
It does say something.
Having that benefit, we're exposed to much more extreme environments. In the same way, we can see temperatures in excess of.
Okay, before we start, that's one of the amps. Sure.
Insulation is helping us go places we could never go before, including extreme environments. When designing insulation for the International Space Station, scientists were confronted with a set of problems found nowhere on Earth.
We don't have the benefit of Earth's atmosphere when we're in orbit. And not having that benefit, we're exposed to much more extreme environments. In the same orbit, we can see temperatures in excess of 250 degrees Fahrenheit while we're in the sun, while a few minutes later be exposed to conditions that produce environments less than minus 250 degrees Fahrenheit. And we go through this 16 times a day, every day, 365 days a year.
Scientists had to rethink the entire insulation process when designing the station. The vacuum of space allows only for radiant heat transfer, usually in the form of energy waves emanating from the sun. Earth's atmosphere prevents it from being overheated by these waves. But the space station, without such protection, is subject to the extreme temperatures brought on by solar radiation. The scientists had to come up with an insulation that would safeguard it. Their solution was a multi-layer insulation, or MLI.
MLI serves two purposes. The first is to reject or reflect a lot of the sun's energy, and the second is to entrap heat that's generated internally. And by doing this, we can moderate the extremes that we see on orbit.
One of the key components of the insulation is the plastic.
On that plastic, we apply thin layers of aluminum, and that aluminum is very reflective.
The mylar is protected by an outer layer of fiberglass fabric. This layer strengthens the insulation blanket. The inner side is aluminized to prevent harmful radiation like ultraviolet light. All the layers are sewn together to create a pillow-like blanket just 1/4 of an inch thick. When designing the insulation, scientists also had to make sure it didn't weigh too much.
We use very thin layers to make up multi-layer insulation. And the reason mainly is because of weight. The pressure shell of the module itself is about 1/4 inch thick on some of these modules. And that aluminum can be very heavy. Well, the last thing you want to do is add more weight to the space station.
Working in tandem with thermal controls inside the station, this advanced insulation helps to maintain a stable onboard environment. With a temperature of 65 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and humidity in the range of 25 to 70%.
Okay.
This is the future of insulation.
All right. Thank you.
Insulation is helping us go places we could never go before.
Sorry about that. Pretty clear that NASA's made some pretty cool stuff. Stuff. I don't want to call it stuff. It's high-end product. I think it's fair to say that they could have. They had a blank check that they were writing when they were building the space shuttle. But this is what they chose to protect our astronauts and to protect their equipment. One thing I know that they didn't use was this Pink Panther. Now, I know we kid about this Pink Panther stuff, but it is 1940s technology. It was built in 1947, or developed in 1947, and it still hasn't changed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of wind down and answer any questions that you have, and you can come by and look at the products. I'll answer the one question I know everybody wants to know. How much? Well, one of the cool things about yellowblue is that when you leave here tonight, well, if you leave early, you won't. You'll go down to the penny of what they cost. So on your yellow cards, I have those yellow cards that are out there. You see all that. You can start writing this down. The cost for the Blue Max treatment, a couple things about it. It's a lifetime warranty, includes the labor. We have to be EPA certified to come out and do it. The cost of that is $795. Now these are published prices that you can go on the internet and see. The solar fan is $1,995, includes a lifetime warranty, but you also get the 60% tax credit. So, no, actually I'll include the installation on that. That's with the installation included. Yeah, the one thing I can't get around is sales tax. You can't get around that. $1,995 includes the installation, the lifetime warranty. I know I talked about this second, but the multi-layer insulation, we'll write this down, is $3.29 a square foot, plus 25 cents per square foot in installation, plus tax. One of the cool things I want to tell you about the solar fan though is that with the tax credit, it's kind of like getting a 2-for-1. Because let's say if you have more than 1,200 feet of attic space, we're going to need 2. Or if you have a split attic, we're going to have 2. We're going to need 2.
2 fans? 2
Hmm?
fans?
Yeah. But what? If you have more than 1,200 feet of attic space. But what we do is we'll come out to your house and give you a bid. The bid is good for 1 year. And it doesn't matter whether metals are going up or down, mostly up. But we'll write it up that's for your situation and it's good for 1 year. And here's what we'll do. If while we're out there and it makes sense to you and we can get you on our install list, what do we do 8 shows a week. What do we have this crew? We have Tuesday and Wednesday set aside for this?
Yep, Tuesday, Wednesday. I actually have Thursday too.
And Thursday, okay. We'll come out, and if it makes sense, and you can get on our install list, you can write these prices down. We will do the Blue Max treatment, you can write this down, for $595. I will do the solar fan for $1,695. The multi-layer insulation, we'll do it $2.99 a square foot. But here's the best part. If I'm out there, I won't charge you any installation. Okay. So those are our bottom line prices. Now the last thing I have is you have those 3x5 cards. Just a couple pieces, and that'll get you out of here. You see there's 1, 2, and 3 listed there. I need you to, number 1, we just need to know, how's the food tonight? Write it down, please. How's the food? No, on 1, 2, and 3? Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah. On the yellow part.
That's it. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, there's the prices. Oh, okay, I guess I wasn't clear. 1, 2, 3, how is the food? Number 2, first one affects the restaurants, this one affects me. They want to know how I did. So you could write down, if you could, how the presenter did on number 2. And if it was not good, don't write anything, okay? I'll fill it in later. Or write it in pencil or small, something like that. Okay. And then number 3, and here's where I need your help. We have the time set aside tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, anytime between 8 and 10. Write down a time where we can come by and give you your bid. The only thing we ask, both spouses are there. We don't like going into both spouses. Bosses, everybody there, we just don't go into houses without both spouses there. It's not good business, we just don't do it. So if you can write down a time when we can come out and give you your bid, and when you're done, go ahead and hold your card up, and we're going to do a drawing for $200 off any tree. Will you write that down? Done? Yeah. Huh? Oh, okay. Anybody else with cards? That's okay. What's your time? Okay. Wednesday. We have Wednesday. Can we do Wednesday?
What time?
He said Thursday, but I think we're fine.
We can do Thursday.
And then we'll do a drawing here. We're good. Okay. Cards. Thank you. Yeah. Do you want yeah. Anytime between 8 and 10. Yeah, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. We've set the whole side day aside. And we're just going to come out and leave your bid. It's good for 1 year. And then you guys will know. Have some people, calculate it out. Thank you. Thank you. Anything else? No? Good.
So how does it work when you said if you decide to move, you can take it with you? Would you go back and then charge a fee to remove it and then put it into your phone?
Nope. We'll do it for free. We'll take the MLI out. We don't want to leave a hole in somebody's roof.
Right, yeah. But I know.
But this, and feel free to do your research. It's all over the place on how this stuff works.
Hey Chris, how does that apply to your paint con?
Good question. Some people, if you go in, they don't have an attic, right? And a lot of homes have cathedral ceilings in them. So if you go peek up in there, you'll notice that a lot of, and if you go in the summer and you put your hand on that, it's really, really hot. If you have no insulation, so we paint it, and we have the same properties, and it works as the insulation, keeping it coming through.
Can I ask you a question about the painting process? Is it a 5-layer painting process? Do you get that layer technology? Is it the magic glue that goes on one application?
We'll probably do it in 2. It's not, it's the magic goo, but we have to dry it and let it. We'll do a couple.
Is it a couple coats like standard paint, or are there
Okay.
multiple disparate?
I can tell you a little bit about the technology.
Yeah, no, go ahead. It's in our Flex paint. It's patented, but go ahead.
So basically, it's a nanotech. So it's very, very small, right? But all it is really, it's a bead. Okay. Imagine paint. You don't imagine it as a bead, right? But imagine it as a bead. Okay. The top is aluminum. The bottom is ceramic. The ceramic is heavier. The aluminum is lighter. So just like this is, right? It's not gonna. While it's wet, it's like this, right? When it dries up, it just stays in place. Now the solid ceramic on that bead is staying underneath. That's going to keep basically an insulating layer. And the aluminum on top is actually going to reflect.
It's almost take a while to dry then.
Oh no. It's nanotech, so it's almost like really fine sand. So and it's built into the
It's suspended.
Exactly. So we can't let it dry, upside down, otherwise it won't work. So, hope that answered your question.
Yes,
And
it
is that
sounds
only-
way less magical and more
Is that
fancy.
only for interior of a wall? So if you don't have anything for like an exterior wall?
Oh, it works on exterior. Actually, we put them in tiles too.
Oh, well. Because I know like on my particular house, we have one side of the house that gives the direct sun.
You
So
get
that,
hit by it.
you can just build it and keep radiating off of it
And
and walk by.
it's an eggshell white. You can paint over it, so it serves as an extra layer of aluminum.
What we do at trucking companies,
Yep.
we put that in
Ice cream
Flex
cup.
paint on top of the trailers, and that keeps the ultraviolets from destroying the tops of that trailer. But if they have refrigerator, it keeps it actually cooler inside. And it extends the life of those trailers, because those trailers are expensive. So if we're extending the life 2 or 3 years of the trailer, we've saved the trucking company a ton of money, right? So that's why they buy it to put it on top. That's where the technology came from. I'm looking for a volunteer for the drawing. Oh, you're the volunteer? Okay, close your eyes. Just go ahead and grab one. There you go. Or whatever. Okay, I got one. Thank you. The Riveras. That's us.
Redraw.
I didn't do it. No, you got it.
That's a first, actually. That's a first. Yeah. We've had like 3 people here at one slow night, and they're like
Let me mark that they
trying to peek in.
I
Still didn't get it.
I did not.
I'm just kidding.
No, she didn't. I watched her.
Yeah. Let me guess, you're a psychic, huh?
No, I'm not. It's the first time.
Can I ask you another technical question about the spray and stuff? What was it called again?
Invisiflex.
The Invisiflex, yes.
Does it also maintain that water wicking property? I mean, I know you said it self-polarizes, but does it also wick away the moisture that you might already have in your insulation? Because I got the impression you can spray that on top of the stuff that's in the
Oh no, it's actually a paint. We paint it onto solid surfaces.
only on solid surface.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like blow-in insulation. No. It's actually
You can paint below on
it looks like normal paint. Yeah. So
How much the lifetime of, what's the expectancy of that to?
it is affected by what you paint over it. So obviously, if you end up painting it with a gloss on top of it, it lasts longer. But it's just basic. And I actually have to double check on that, but I do believe we have a 10-year warranty on the paint.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
From
to check
Faith.
on that. You know, I wanted to say it's a lifetime, but the paints nowadays, we just had it, I'm not gonna say that. I said I'm not gonna say that. I wanna make sure we get back to you on that.
Yeah, definitely. We'll make a note on your last name. Sorry.
They are the good ones, right, Tony?
Make a note.
Oh,
My weird stuff.
I'm sorry. I didn't get a card from you.
I didn't have one.
Oh. You can always use the back.
Do you guys have any information to take home?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I brought some
Okay.
stuff.
And a card to contact?
Yeah, that's what we leave out on there, and then,
your guys' yellow card is a little bit limiting.
Hmm?
A little bit assumptive and limiting. It assumes that everyone's a couple and.
Yeah. Well, we
In this big state particularly, it was a surprise to see.
Yeah. Well, usually we do couples, and then per household, a couple per household. But you're all right though. We're running low on our print, so we need to print some more.
oh, I'm gonna get back to you on that, and so we can get back on the paint. But I'll give you something to take home.
Yes.
Are you online?
I mean, you would be. Steve, you know what I would suggest? You'd be pleasantly surprised. Nope. The stuff I see, the stuff I see at home. You will see it's all around this.